Hi, and welcome to everybody to the 12th, this 12th episode of the Herwoodian Crafter podcast. I'm Jutta, I'm coming to you from Tampere, Finland, and this is my podcast about knitting and crocheting and sewing and all kinds of crafting. I'm a little bit over the 2-week mark on the recording, but here I am, much sooner than I was with the last recording. So let's get busy with it. Once again, it's nap time at my house, and we'll have to see if I get this recorded in one sitting. We should be good for at least half an hour, but you never know. But in the interest of getting things done, we'll dive straight into the whips and FOs, because I do have a whip. So I showed these to you last time. These are the Virva Fingerless Mitts from the Laine 3 magazine, and I finished the matching hat for it. I did the pom-pom. I think I mentioned that I wasn't sure about that, but the way that the decreases and the finishing round was done, I felt it best to do the pom-pom. And then here it is. It's a bit kind of, I think I might pick up the stitches and do a few more rounds, because this is how much I have left of the yarn, so I might get a good few centimeters, because as it is now, I feel like I look like a cancer patient who lost all her hair. Even though some people look really good without hair, that's not kind of a look I'm going for often. So so I think I need a little bit more slouch. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But yeah, I need a little bit more slouch, and I was worried that whether this was going to be wide enough for my head, but it's otherwise a good fit. I just need a more length. The one thing that I did want to mention, first of all, this is the first time I'm using MCN, and I'm a little bit disappointed with how it's wearing on the mitts. I know why this is wearing so badly, but I'm not sure how well you can tell, but it's kind of pilling, and it just doesn't look as good as it does in here. It's mostly a wear issue because of our stroller. The brakes on our stroller are on the handle, and that has a really grippy surface. So that's what's wearing this down. And I'm kind of hoping that this is as bad as it gets, but even if it wears out quite fast, yeah, it's a shame, but I'm gonna deal with it. Yeah, these have been getting a lot of wear. I wear them almost every day since I've gotten them done really pretty, and once they wear through, which unfortunately it seems like it's going to happen sooner rather than later, I really think that I might be doing a second pair, maybe from a proper sock yarn, so they'll take the wear a little bit better. And I'm sorry, I'm sniffling all the time. I'm still not 100% over my coughing and cold and whatever it was when I last recorded. But yeah, I have one new cast on. I decided to completely frog the rest of my Tour de Sock whip socks, because I hadn't touched them since Tour de Sock, and I really wasn't inspired by them, so I ripped back the mosaic marbles and the Axios socks. And then I think I showed it once, the fancy zebra pattern cowl. It was cowl that I had a crazy Zauberball for, because I hadn't touched them. I felt like, yeah. So I ripped them back. This is one of the yarns. I started the leaf sock patterns, the leaf socks that I showed you in the last Novita magazine. I can show you the picture in a minute. I'm doing this as an ankle sock because this yarn won't be enough. This amount won't be enough for kind of long length socks, so I'm doing this as an ankle sock. I have the cuffs ready, and then I've started on the heel on this one, and I'll just quickly show you the pattern picture. Where was it? I should have looked this too. Here it is. So it's not a very kind of lengthy pattern, but I don't think it will be, in that amount of yarn will be enough for this pattern, so I'm doing it as an ankle length though, so there will be, the leaf pattern will be on the front of the foot. Yeah. Once again, this is my own hand-dyed yarn. It's a fingering weights, 75 wool and 25 polyamide blend. Then last time I said that I would, the bubbly sweater that's going to my sister is going to take priority in between these recordings. It didn't. I actually was much more inspired to work on my pavement sweater, and it's gotten a good amount done. Just take crochet hook wanted to say hello to my sweater, so I'll just get that out of there. This is going extremely well. But yeah, so I finished the body of the sweater, and I have one sleeve quite nearly finished. Just, this is going so well. But yeah, so that's the back of the sweater. So here it is. It's bound off, and then there's this much sleeve. I think I have maybe 10 centimeters to go on the sleeve, and then the other sleeve as well. And just so you know, this is where I was when I last showed it to you. So a little bit of the hem, and then the short rows that are on the hem and the sleeve. I did have to go out and pick up more of this yarn. So this is the Gestal Maya Norwegian yarn, very basic. This is 85 wool and 15% polyamide, but a very basic woolly sock yarn, so I think this will take wear very well. But yeah, I only bought one skein because I was already working on the other sleeve when I ran out of yarn, and I think I don't have any more of the yarn left anywhere. I'm quite sure, and I'm hoping that this will be enough to get the sleeves done, because if I run out of yarn with just about 5 centimeters to go, I'm gonna lose it, and I'm gonna be very frustrated. So yeah, I'm really happy about this one. I haven't worked on the bubbly sweater at all, but my sister came by on Tuesday, and I got to try the sweater on her, and it looks like it's gonna be a good fit. And she was really, really kind of loving what I had done. Then the last whip I'm gonna show you, which I have been working on, is the Rainbow Leylines pattern by Joji Locatelli. I think I left the stitch marker in, yes, so I was here when I last showed this to you, and now I've faded it into the red from the orange. And I decided that that I'm gonna do the decreases a little bit different than is stated on the pattern, because I want to use as much of the yarn as I can, and I felt like if I do the decreases the same way as is stated on the pattern, it will decrease a little bit faster than it grew. Because, but yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what you were supposed to do, because it's a paid for pattern. But I have started on the decreases, just a few rows of decreases, and yeah, this was actually I felt like this. I got this amount done a lot faster than I felt like had been on the few previous times that I've worked on this, and I'm really kind of excited to get on with the decreases, because this was starting to get boring, even with the color changes. But yeah, I have the red one, only just barely started on the red one, and then of course I have the purple and blue one still to go. But yeah, I'm really quite happy. I feel like this very close to, even though it's only halfway, I feel like I'll get to wear this soon. Yay! But yeah, those are the whips and FOs I was gonna talk to you about. And yeah, sorry, this is kind of shaking. It's a little bit uneven underneath my laptop, which I'm recording this on. I'm trying to get this to kind of scroll down. I have my notes also on the laptop, so that's why it's shaking a little bit. So I'll take a lighter hand and try to roll it down. Here we go. So I have a little bit of a sewing segment that I want to talk to you about, and also a little bit to share, just in the interest of having some content to share with you. Yeah, so I've mentioned in a few videos that I've had some official business to take care of, and that has really kind of taken holding my crafting mojo as hostage. So that's been dealt with finally. So I feel about 50 pounds lighter, and I'm not sure if that's I've felt the effect on my sewing mojo, but now I feel like I'm free to kind of get on with my crafty ideas. So I think I mentioned in some episode in the early episodes that I had bought the Sew Over It vintage shirt dress pattern, and it was quite quick that I kind of cut up the pieces from fabric, and then I just kind of, it dropped off my crafty radar. But this week I've been feeling it with my sewing mojo, which has been quite rare in the recent years. But anyway, I've sewn the pleats, and I've started working on the shoulder seams on the vintage shirt dress. But I feel like it's nothing exciting to show you for now, so I'm not going to show that to you. But I feel like that's the thing I want to do in the few weeks to come. And then I also registered to the Deer and Doe website, and when you do that, you get a jersey shirt pattern for free. And that's something I feel like I'm gonna crack on with as well in the few weeks to come. I went at the same trip that I got the extra yarn for the Pavement sweater. I also went out to a fabric shop and bought 2 meters of this basic grey jersey fabric. And I really I felt like I would have wanted to buy something with a print, but as you maybe have noticed, I don't wear that many print clothes. So in the interest of kind of getting pieces I would wear, and just as a kind of, I don't want to say practice pieces, but warm-up pieces would be better. So this was quite good price for that as a kind of warm-up thing. And yeah, if I'm not completely mistaken, I might get actually 2 versions of that shirt done. So the name of the pattern is Plantain. I want to say it like that. It's probably Plantain or something like that. I'm not good. I really don't know French. I've taken 2 years worth of classes when I was in the elementary school, so yeah, I'm not an expert, but I would say plantain shirt from the Deer and Doe website. And if I'm very, very lucky, my husband might print the pattern out at work today, so I might get cracking with this one quite soon. So I'm going to be doing the as a first effort, I will be doing the 3/4 length sleeve shirt version, and then if I think I might have enough yarn, but if I do, I might do the short sleeved, cap sleeved version of the pattern as well. I'm really kind of excited about that. But then as a kind of filler piece, I thought I might show you a few pieces that I've sewn before. The first one I would show you is a dress that I did for my cousin's wedding about 6 years ago, I think. And that's in it. This kind of I'm really happy with how it's turned out, but the shape of it is really not a slam dunk. It's an empire waistline, and even back then I was kind of round enough to have empire waistline make me look like I'm pregnant. So it's not that. It was very wearable. I was very happy with it, and I'm still very happy with it. I think it's very kind of I would say surprisingly good. There's a zipper in here, then there's a small clasp up here. It has lining in here, and There's only a small issue with these pleats. They don't fit as well as I would like them to, but I haven't worn it since. But anyways, I think this is a very good and nice, much better than I expected it to be. Yeah, not bad. But the next piece is something that I'm really quite proud of, even though it's not perfect, and I made it to go with this one, so just a minute. It's here. It's a bag. It's kind of hard to show you, and it's quite obvious quite soon what the kind of, not a mistake, but why it's not perfect. The body of the bag would have needed a little bit more facing, so it would have been a little bit tougher because this is very kind of flimsy on the outside, and it should have been a little bit stiffer. And it's kind of, maybe this is the way to show it to you properly. So this is the basic shape of the bag, and then if you put these, just there's some details here, and then I'm really happy with the inside as well. There's a few compartments inside. It's basically it's really difficult to show you. There's a few kind of compartments. There's a few that has a zipper in them, so you can kind of have something safely in there. And it's such a shame that the outer part is so flimsy. But I feel like I might be doing another version of this I don't want to say near future, but this seems like such a handy bag to have, and I really kind of like the way I did it with the details of the bag, that maybe stiffer fabric and a little bit more interfacing in here, and this could be a really good bag to do. I don't know where the pattern is from, I can't remember anymore. Like I said, it was 6 years ago that I made this, and I'm not sure if the pattern had any kind of clear markings on where the pattern is from. I do have the pattern safely pinned on Pinterest somewhere, so I will be I can get it back, and I will be able to do this again. But once again, I was really kind of proud of how kind of neat and kind of, back then I had sewn very little in a very long time, and I had just kind of, probably the previous Christmas, that I got my sewing machine as a Christmas gift, so really hadn't sewn that much. But I got this done, and I think that it's really quite a neat job, so I'm really quite happy with that. And then the last thing I thought I'd show you is my wedding dress, which looks very simple, and I have one picture to show you because I don't think it will fit anymore. I've gained a little bit of weight since I made it, so it's very simple, but just a minute. This is it. This is how simple it is. There's a little bit of a detail here, and then I had a tall skirt underneath here. I have that to show you too, but it was just like, it had orange and white tulle. It's very simple, but what was really very, very special about this one is that I didn't have a pattern for this. So basically I just took a shirt I liked and just drew the outlines on a fabric, and because of that I'm really quite happy with how it turned out. I had my sister-in-law to help me with a waist shaping, because that would have been impossible to do on my own, and she's a seamstress by training. She hasn't worked as a seamstress ever, but she's trained, so she was very qualified to help me with it. But then I have it doesn't look like much back there, but then I think that's the best picture that I have with the dress. Very simple, but what people kept telling me is that, yeah, it's very simple. It looks really like you. There's a way that it's said in Finnish that it's very simple. It looks really like your style, but the way it's said, it kind of could be interpreted that you're simple too. I don't mind. I may be simple at times, but I was very happy with it. It was really comfortable to wear, and people said that it looked very me. So can't complain. Yeah. Once again, very light touch. And yeah, basically because those things have worked so well in the past, I feel like, yeah, I can sew my own clothes if I just get around to it. Yeah. Then on the stash busting front, I've gotten a fair bit done. I feel like at the moment I'm about 785 grams out, and I feel like I might try and make a bit of a mad dash to get the 1 kilo done by the Handicrafts Expo that we have here in Tampere. This year it's from the 17th until 19th of November, so in a few weeks. And in a few weeks I think that, yeah, it's gonna be tight, but 200 grams isn't that much to get knitted up. So I'll have to see. I might try it. Don't know. But yeah. 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 Cutting it pretty close with the kids' nap time, so I think that this is it for this time. Yeah, that was about everything I had for you this time, and the kid might be waking up soon, so I'll wrap it up, and thank you for spending your time with me. I hope you liked the episode. If you did, maybe press the like button on this video. Maybe subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But until I see you next time, I hope you have a very good time crafting. Bye bye.